Same but different. So we'll see Ed here working on his car. Let's go and see what he's up to. Hey Ed, how you doing? Haven't seen you in ages. How'd you get on at Silverstone? Okay Ed, how you doing? Yeah, Silverstone went good. First outing. We finished, what was it, 14th overall out of 35 starters. 31 finishers, 7th in class, so couldn't be happier. So Ed, what are you up to there? Looks like you've got an ECU in your hand. Is the car not fast enough or something? No Ed, just the opposite. It's actually making too much power. But Ed, surely you can't have too much power? It's not possible. Actually Ed, you can. Problem is, we race in two different series. One's MSV Track Day Trophy, and the other one is the 750 Road Sports, and they both have different regulations and rules for the series. This car came initially with a performance ECU. I had no idea what sort of power it was making, and of course we run power to weight ratios in both series. So one of the requirements of the certainly the MSV one was to take the car to their registered dyno people, Dynapack. We ran the car down there, and it was making 189.92 horsepower at the rear hubs. That's how they measure it. And then we took the same ECU across to what do you call a MAHA, M-A-H-A approved dyno. They measure it at the tires, but they correct it back to the crank. I found out that this ECU is making 247 horsepower at the crank. Now, maybe flash up some ECU calculations here. The issue I had then was at 247 horsepower, the minimum weight for this car to fit into the road sports category, or the super sport category class C, was 1373 kilos, and that's way too heavy. So what they do is you register in a class, you say how much your car's making, and then they weigh you at the end. And the 750 club do it without the driver or helmets or anything like that. Now we figured it all out. I measured it down at actually just a scrapyard, and this car is about 1290 dry with no fuel. So there's no way on this earth I was going to add another 83 kilos. I can put a passenger seat in, that gives me 12 kilos. But there's no way on earth I could stay within class C. I'd have to race in class B, and I don't want to be at the bottom of a class. I just want to be at the top, and have some midpoint racing. So the solution was actually one of these. I know it looks the same. It's same but different. Same part number, but of course ECUs can be reprogrammed, can't they? So what I did was sent off to the same people that did the initial map on the other one, and I said to them, I want a standard map, but I want to race to 7,000 RPMs just like the other one, but I want it pretty much as a standard map. Did that, took it to the dyno. It's making 243 horsepower, not 247, which is way too much. So I reckoned probably 230 was ideal for me, to leave a little bit of a buffer with zero fuel. So they very kindly took it back, digital tuning solutions, and he knocked a bit off. You can adjust the timing on these things, inlet and exhaust valves. Got the ECU back, took it onto the rolling road, and it makes 236.9, which is just fantastic, because it means I don't have to add that much weight. In fact, I think I've got my little book here just to be sure. So At 180 brake per tonne, the minimum weight is 1317 kilos, so that's down from about 1373. Just means I can put the second seat in to make a bit of weight, 12 kilos. That takes us up to initially 1290 is the car, or 1287 it turns out exactly. Makes it 1300. We still need 17 kilos to stay within the regs. So I know there's 63 litres in this car, weighs 48 kilograms. So in order to add those 17 kilograms, we need to finish with 35% of fuel. Now I've done one race already on the higher ECU with the track day trophy, as I just said. And that means that we finished that 45-minute race just under half a tank. So there's not a huge amount of margin there, but at least we're well within it. So the end result is I'll run the higher tune, the 247 horsepower tune, in track day trophy. And there's not an issue with that because the minimum weight for that is 1267. And that's without a seat in it and all the rest of it. And of course, dry without the seats about 1287. So we've got 20 kilos to spare on just the car, but of course they allow the car and the driver, and I'm another 80 kilos, so we have a decent 100 kilo margin there if anything. We could maybe add some more horsepower into the car if need be, but it's fine as it is. So we'll run the higher tune 247 on the track day trophy, and we'll run the standard map, as it were, 236.9, call it 237 in the road sports class C. So you know what, it's two ECUs, but it's same but different. And it's really easy. Just turn the battery power off inside, disconnect a few wires in here, let me see how it goes, and swap the ECUs over. So the next outing is road sports, 12th of June at Brands Indy, but of course ECU needs changed for that, and that's all I'm going to do. So it's just as simple as opening the casing here, if I can get it out. Don't want to stretch any wires or break anything, and that's all it is, literally. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connectors, modified ECU so I can tell the difference, standard map, same but different. So all I do, there's a modified ECU, there's a standard map, and they're all the same, just slot straight in. Just need to make sure the battery power's off, stick in the 5 connectors, and they're all different. So there it is. ECU just goes straight in. There's one. They're all slightly different plugs. So let's see what we've got. There we go. There's another one in. Let's go for the big one. Of course, that needs to go in like that. Then we've got another one like that, and then we've got the final one like that. So now we have 237 horsepower, and the cap just goes on, and that's it. Turn the battery on, start the car. Because the ECU's running the car before, there's no learning mode, not at all. So that's it. Lock it all up, get it in, and go racing, and that's it. That's all I have to do between series. So fun. That's really interesting. So you've effectively got 2 series, and you're trying to maximize the power for each just by changing an ECU. Straight swap, 5 minutes. That seems like a plan. So it seems running twin ECUs, it seems to work perfectly.